Nakeia did Vault Empowers Live over on the Steve Harvey Network, over on Fireside app. And when you did that interview, when you did that live with us, you said something that I have like taken and I have run with it. You said, you didn't see me because you didn't need me, baby.
A word.
A word. Honey, you got bars. Honey, you got bars. Listen,
word.
you said you didn't see me because you didn't need me. Baby, when I tell you, I remixed that thing, baby. I put that in a sermon, honey. I put that in a talking point.
Use it.
Because when you said that, I mean, it was literally like it gut punched me, because how many times have we been hiding in plain sight? How many times have we been playing the background and we watched other people and supported other people play the foreground? And they say, well, where you been? Baby, you just didn't see me because you didn't need me.
You didn't need me.
And now you need me. Yeah, that was good.
Yes. In the chapter on remembering who you are, I talk about the decision I made to, one, not be the victim of domestic violence. Every woman in my family had been abused.
Yeah.
Every man in my family at the time had been an abuser.
Wow.
I didn't want to be a teenage parent. Everyone had babies under the age of 19, 18. My mom was 15. It was a couple of things that I promised myself. One of the things that I knew is that I've always been this version of myself. It was no reason. Like, my brother and I have had this conversation. How did you do it? He's asking me, like, why is your life different than mine? Why are our lives different? I'm not special. I'm not better. I didn't do anything other, and actually, I experienced the worst of my dad, you know, than all of my siblings as the oldest. I think that we've all been chosen to do something. Yeah. And our lives kind of bury that something. But mine wasn't buried. And so I always talk about sitting on those steps. There's 2 steps that led up to the door in the projects. Just dreaming of another life. Yeah. I always knew it was going to happen. I always knew who I was, even in the projects. I used to be accused of thinking I was better than everybody else. And I'm like, how? Yeah. How do I do that from where I am? I think it was people seeing what God gave me. And so when I say you didn't see me because you didn't need me, I've always been this. Yeah. Always. Yeah. I'm just doing it in a season where you need it.
Come on, Vault Empowers Talks. Come on. If you catch it, you gonna catch it. Listen, come on. You didn't see me because you didn't need me. But I always been this girl. Always.
I'm her.
I'm her. She's me. I'm her. Listen, I'm it. I'm the one. Yeah. And I feel like so many women need that. I mean, and men too. Absolutely. I do not want to exclude men from that conversation, because so many of us need this part, because we need to be affirmed that there is something powerful in us. Every one of us. There is something powerful, that we have been purposed for something special to leave our mark on this world. And it is a disservice to humanity when we don't tap into it.
And we're thinking about the major levels, right? So when people say, you know, I didn't know you were doing that. I'm not Oprah, I'm Nakeia. Yeah. And everyone attached to Nakeia is blessed. That's a blessing. Yeah. My neighbors are blessed. I always talk about Penny and Barty at Publix. When I walk into Publix, they see me. When I'm not there, they're like, where you been? You don't have a Pepsi with you. And I'm like, yes, you see me. And I see them. I buy them lipstick. Yeah. You can't tell them they're not cute. They're not chosen. They're not perfect. They're not purposeful. They're not called. We have to do our part in our community. That is the luxury of healing. When you heal, everyone connected to you gets to experience the healed version of you. Yeah. Sorry to the people who only saw the anxious me. I talk about my friend Eric in college, first year of college. He checked the heck out of me because he only saw that version of me for a while, but he saw something more. Yeah. For the first time, I was called from that place that I knew to be, you know, tough, aggressive, going off. He was like, calm down. Why are you rolling your eyes? And I'm like, you know, I don't have to do that. So we want to be able to give the best versions of ourselves to the people that we love, the people we're connected to.
That's so good. I'm sorry that you got the anxious me. Like, and I think I want to say that to even people out there. I'm sorry you got the angry me. I'm sorry you got that version of me. You know, but I didn't know another way to be at that moment. You know?
Shout out to the angry version of me.
Yeah.
The tough version of me. The version of me that this body that I'm in fought kidney disease, not the skinny version of me. This body I'm in birthed my babies, not the other version of me. The version of me that is carrying the grief of my grandmother and my dad. That's who wrote this book. It wouldn't be here without it. Yeah. So although we want to heal from our versions of ourselves, we don't ever want to downplay it. We don't ever want to curse it. God bless everyone of them.
Ooh, girl, Nakeia got me over here tearing up, y'all. It's real in the bill, okay? Right. Listen, that is so good.
And let me just tell you about my friend Eric. Yeah. He's from, I used his real name. Everybody else got fake names.
Yeah, everybody got fake names in the book.
He's like, if your book gets the movie, I'm like, that's a self-help book, bro. Calm down. But somebody get Brandi a tissue. But he was like, I know where you're from. He heard men talk, other guys in school talking and what they were saying. I know why you had to be that way. I loved him for that. This was a platonic relationship. Yeah.
And don't cut it. Don't cut it. I'm like Tyrese, don't cut it.
Word.
Don't give me no tissue.
You're supposed to throw it.
Tyrese, don't give me no tissue. I don't need it.
That's hilarious. That's me, though. That's me. I look back at every version and say that. But yeah, he was like, you had to be that way. If you're angry, there's a such thing as, and I might be butchering it, but it is irritable depression. That's me. So when people say they're depressed, you think about the person who's in the house, under the covers. That's where I should have been for the past 4 years. But I emote as irritable depression. So if I'm snapping, and thank God for my therapist who called this out, I know what it is. So when I see someone and they're anxious, I'm like, that's why I had the men in prison crying. I talk about Mr. Smith. I talk about Angel's dad. It feels good to be seen. Yeah. Right? It's not just about the healing. It's about being seen as every version of yourself. So shout out to Eric. Shout out to Tyrese. Yeah. Who out here crying for men who can't cry. Yeah. And shout out to you for being strong. And angry when you needed to be. Yeah. And probably had a reason.
Yeah. So many reasons, right? And I think that you have learned, we learn to suppress. We learn to bury. We learn to sweep under, and we just got a rug piled up high with stuff that we just been trying to sweep up under. And then at some point, we got to address the dirt that's in the room, right? Yes. And I think it's so hard for us to learn those tools to be able to start to dig up and uncover and unlearn and relearn and uproot the things that have caused us deep pain. Deep pain.
Our bodies are doing what they're supposed to. It's called survival mode for a reason. When your body senses any type of threat, it's no different from being hit by a car, being hit by a bat, or being hit by a divorce. Yeah. Your body's going to respond the same way. So when I get anxious now that I'm in this season of my life, I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know something's going on. Yeah. When I'm depressed, thank you for letting me know what's happening in this season. During the times when I just cried crazy, recording the audiobook for Habits for Healing.
Oh, I bet.
I cry every time I go through the chapter on my dad, every single time, except for when I recorded the audiobook. Where I've never cried is describing my grandma. Never, ever. And I literally had to stop and walk away. I had to get up. I had to blow my nose. I mean, it was an ugly cry, right? And I loved it. I love that I love her that much, that she stops me in my track. I'm about to make my own self cry outside of the grocery store because that woman, that was her love language, cooking. I cry. I love it. I love it. When I'm worried about my son, I love it. You know how many kids needed a parent to worry? I love that for him. I tell him every day, I love you. That's why. And I'm not talking about beating you because I love you. Yeah. I'm talking about holding you accountable to who you are. I do the same thing with my son when he's anxious. What's going on? It just feels good to be seen. When I wrote the book, and there are some early reviews, shout out to the people who are doing those reviews.
Oh,
bad ones too.
She got some heavy hitters on the review.
Yeah. Some people wrote, not all there is one bad review. I don't read them, but my daughter will help me do that. But anyway, one of them said, I felt seen. I felt like she was talking to me. That's my gift to the world.
Yeah.
No one saw me when I needed to be seen. No one, not even my grandma. My job is to see everyone I encounter.
Yeah. We're usually giving to people what we needed, right? We're usually showing up for people in this season of our lives and how we wanted somebody to show up for us.
Right.
How we wanted for somebody.
Says we teach what we need to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a real thing. I know for a fact, like in this season, you know, when I talk to women and I talk about self-esteem, when I talk about confidence, when I talk about being abandoned, when I talk about those moments of rejection, when I talk about all those feelings of not feeling like you were wanted, and even still having those moments show up where you don't feel like you were really wanted. And this is not from my mother, because I know she will watch this and be like, well, what were you talking about? Right, you know, it's not her, right? And I think there are so many times now that I'm pulling from that place. When I get up in front of these audiences, when I get on these platforms, I'm just pulling from the place of how I wish somebody would have saw the 16-year-old Brandi, how I wish somebody would have seen the 14-year-old Brandi, how I wish somebody would have seen the 26-year-old Brandi. Hey, Vaugh family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vaugh Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.